name is Terry Zachary. Claude Johnson is my first cousin. Our mothers were the children of Emma and Manson Lewis and were born almost 100 years ago on a farm in rural Chatham County. There were 4 girls: Aunt Lowell, Aunt Pauline, Claude's mother, Dorothy, my mother, and Aunt Della. One thing about our moms, I never heard a cross word between any of them. They each had 2 children. We had a reunion at my home last year, the first time that all 8 cousins had been together in several years, and sadly the last. I knew a different Claude from many of you. I knew the Claude of many years ago. It was a time when there were no television, no video games, no indoor bathrooms, and no air conditioning. We were poor by today's standards, but rich in the good times and love we shared with our families. He was 4 months older than I. He was my first cousin. I had 23, but he was the first. He was stronger and faster. He was driving a tractor by the time he was 4, then a car and truck, a logging truck several years before his 16th birthday. Sunday, after church, our moms would always take their families to visit their parents, Emma and Manson Lewis. For many years, that was the day I got to see Claude. We loved to play together. I remember that we were always eager to shed our shoes in the spring, to toughen our feet because we went barefooted all summer. May 1st was the time we could start swimming in Granddad Lewis's farm pond. I remember the old grapevine, the great muscadine grapes that we ate till we could eat no more. I remember Granddaddy cutting a watermelon for us and sitting on the porch and spitting seeds in the yard. We learned to swim together at Camp Pioneer and Snow Camp. One lesson in the morning and that afternoon we were doing the freestyle. Of course, we didn't tell our instructors we'd known how to dog paddle for some time, something our moms had taught us from the age we could first walk. We loved baseball, the New York Yankees, Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra. Claude and I decided we'd learn to be baseball switch hitters like our beloved Mickey Mantle. So every Sunday we would pitch to each other while batting wrong-handed. We became fairly good. Claude, as usual, was better than me, and I guess he played for Silcoat while I sat on the bench for Sylvan. One Sunday, Granddaddy Lewis asked to join us in our practice, and Claude showed no mercy as Granddaddy went down swinging. Also, on some of these Sundays, we had our city cousins from Greensboro visit. Cousin Bill was 5 years younger and was the brunt of many of our jokes. One time I remember that young Bill had been to the movies to see one of the Francis the Talking Mule movies. Claude and I took him to the pasture and convinced him that Granddaddy Lewis's old mule could talk, but only that Claude and I could hear him. We grew up working on the farm. We would make our little money from tobacco, and each Saturday we'd go to Siler City and blow it on baseball cards. Uncle Casey had a mule that he used to snake logs when they were cutting timber. One summer we were using that same mule, a young hard-headed one, to pull tobacco sleds. Morning we pulled at Granddad Lewis's, then that afternoon at Uncle Casey's. It fell to me and Claude to take that mule to Uncle Casey's farm. Being young cowboys at heart who had spent many hours riding stick horses, we decided to make that mule run. It was not a good idea. 2 young boys were clad only in shorts trying to hang on to a runaway mule. We tumbled into the old gravel road beside Center Methodist Church. Luckily, no broken bones, but lots of scrapes and bruises and hurt pride. The highlight of our summer was our summer vacation. My dad would be off the 4th of July week, and our family would go to the mountains to visit Aunt Lowell and her family. Many of the times, Claude and Joanne would go with us. One summer, I remember an old-fashioned 4th of July celebration in Waynesville. It was wild. It seemed like there were thousands of people there. We entered all the events: the 3-legged race, the sack race, the human wheelbarrow, the pie eating contest. Claude and I were consistent. We finished last in every event. We'd never done anything like that before or since, but we had a great time. Those were the good old days that people talk about. That's the way I remember it. He was the brother I never had. Claude belongs to the ages now, but I preferred it when he belonged to us. Thank you, and God bless.